break after this episode, so let's not waste any time and get straight to it. Here's a keeper of secrets.
Okay, just to remind you, it is Sunday the 15th of February. Last time you took a trip up to Derby and booked into the Old Bell Hotel, wanted to be haunted, in an effort to find out more about Henson Manufacturing, a lead that you discovered in the basement of the Penhue Foundation in Gavigan's secret room. And it was a large safe that was referenced in that particular correspondence that you were particularly interested in. So where we left it last time was that you were in your room and you had not long discovered that the scroll that you recovered from the safe in the Penhue Foundation and you thought you'd stowed at the station had actually followed Stanton and was on his bedside table. Rather disconcertingly, you did move the scroll into the other room and it hasn't moved since of its own accord. It was approaching evening meal time, and I think you decided that you would have your evening meal and then would head out to a pub and wait there before then moving on later to have a closer look at the Henson manufacturing site. Would that be fair?
That's it.
Is that how you... Yeah. Okay. So we will join the scene with you having your evening meal in the Old Bell Hotel.
Guys, I've been having a thought about getting into the warehouse. Why don't we try telling them that we are here from Gavigan and we have got some documents, because we do have some of Gavigan's documents, and we have been told to put them in the safe. We've even got the signed money with Gavigan's signature on that we could show as proof that we work for it.
I like that idea because it gets us closer to them and hopefully through the door. Then if it does go wrong, it would afford us a greater opportunity to deal with the guards rather than if they caught us red-handed trying to break in.
I would hope that they would, that the sweet talkers amongst us, it says looking at Jacob and Douglas, if the sweet talkers amongst us could at least get us through the gate. I mean, at worst, they're going to want to phone Gavigan to check, which means they'll have to go to the office.
And we can follow them. Yeah,
we can follow them. It's not like they have phones in their pockets. I mean, that's crazy sci-fi talk. That'll never happen.
Yeah, we can give that a go.
Yes.
Been
Sounds
reading
like
too
a
much
great idea,
Jules Verne.
Yeah, if we can get us in there without us having to next one.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, it's arriving out of hours as well wouldn't be too unusual, so we could actually still go after dark as well.
Yep. We perhaps don't need to go super late.
No, I mean we could go directly after dinner.
Yeah.
So just say we caught the
we
caught the late train up. We would check trains were, so we got the last train up.
Yep.
We could also take one of the we could take the statue of Cthulhu with us if we could show them that if they are that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to all want to put in the safe. That should be the thing.
Yeah.
And I guess all good businessmen need an accountant. I'll spread my arms wide. Do you think I'd fit the bill?
I don't see why not, but I wasn't planning on explaining our job descriptions to them. I was just going to say, let us in.
You will glance across the table at Stanton with his swollen, broken nose and black eyes. And,
that's how I like my accountants.
Accountant / middleweight boxer.
Okay. Yeah. The pain momentarily disappeared with the excitement of your new role as an accountant.
What have we got in terms of our credentials? We've got the signed money. What else have we got?
We have the bill, the invoice.
I wouldn't offer anything up. I mean, it's not like they were going to be carrying cult, membership cards. So
we have his business.
Well, we do have his business card, yeah. So we could show that, and we can show his signature. But more importantly, we've got a tentacled mass statue to share. So and we know that Gavigan's got a relationship with this, and they're not going to know anything about us.
No.
So hopefully they won't ask too many questions. And then even if they do, that's the point where they get a welcoming punch to the face by our rather large calling card here, pointing at Alex. So it doesn't have to stand up close scrutiny.
It just
Oh,
needs
I mean-
to get us off the street into a building, and then we can take them to unconscious town.
Well, the first thing you do,
go about
and
our
say-
business.
If they say, "Have you got any identification?" just say, "No, of course I haven't. I don't carry that kind of thing with me. If you've got a problem with it, let's go to your office and call Gavigan."
Yep.
And then that gets us inside, at which point we jump them. It doesn't need to be any more detailed than that. We don't have to create massive backstories because we wouldn't share that information with them anyway. Just let's say, "Well, who are you?" We're from Gavigan. Who are you? That's absolutely none of your business. If you want to take it up with Gavigan, let's go make a phone call.
Keep it simple.
Yep.
And we're the stupid.
Okay. The glow of gas lamps flickers along the dark wooden panels, and the scent of roasted meats and fresh bread hangs in the air. The first floor restaurant of the Old Bell is not particularly crowded. A few diners sit at separate tables, engaged in quiet conversation, or simply eating in peace. The most striking feature of the room is the large stained glass windows, their vibrant colours catching the last light of the setting sun. The designs are intricate, scenes of Tudor figures, hunting parties and regal coats of arms. The glass casts strange patterns across the tables, reds and blues shimmering over white tablecloths. As darkness falls outside, a serving girl arrives, seemingly from nowhere. Polite but subdued, dressed in old-fashioned clothing and a white cap. She approaches your table and turns to address Stanton. "Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Tonight's meal is roast beef with horseradish and boiled potatoes. Treacle tart for dessert." She smiles thinly, barely making eye contact and seemingly preoccupied before moving away silently from your table.
Well, I hope she was real and not a ghost.
The grandfather clock standing nearby chimes 6. A man at a corner table, an older gentleman reading the Derby Gazette, pauses to take a sip of his port, and a large tabby cat strolls past, tail waving, heading towards the hearth and the inviting warmth of the fire. Another member of the hotel staff approaches your table brandishing napkins and cutlery. "That looks painful, sir, if you don't mind me saying."
Thank you. It was. It is. Hoping to see a doctor about it in the coming week.
"If it were me, I'd wrap a bit of cold cloth around it, maybe steep a chamomile poultice overnight. Take the swelling down right as rain."
Sounds like a very sensible idea, I think.
You must have had a nasty tumble.
Yes, rather unpleasant. But here we are.
Looks quite fresh. I didn't get it here.
No. Elsewhere. Citizens of Derby. So.
Now, sirs, are you going for the mutton or the pork?
Pork, I think.
I'll have a pork as well, thank you. Is there no beef on the menu?
Yes.
No, we have no beef, I'm afraid. Mutton or pork tonight?
Pork it is for me then, thank you.
Mutton for me, please.
Did we not just have a serving girl come and tell us what was for dinner? Did you have a serving girl working?
He looks around. Well, I am. There's a couple of others, but why did you ask whether we had beef on the menu? Suddenly, she goes quite white all of a sudden.
What about treacle tart? Do you have that? Because I'd really like that for my pudding.
No, I'm afraid spotted dick today.
Not treacle tart.
No.
I'm not actually sure I'm that hungry anymore.
Tell us what can you tell us of the hauntings at this establishment?
Her eyes widen, and she says, "Roast beef, treacle tart. You've seen Nancy, haven't you?"
Yeah, well, a young lady did come to our table. She was dressed as a waitress, but she seemed rather old-fashioned attire. We assumed that she worked with you.
No, not in the real sense. She crosses herself. You may have heard that this here place is haunted. Well, she's one of the spirits.
One of the.
Yes. We haven't seen her for a while, but may I ask who she addressed?
I'll take a sip of water.
Is that important? I mean, she addressed the table. Should we be concerned if she addressed somebody specific?
Maybe. She's said to be an ill omen.
Oh.
If she addressed anybody in particular, then whoever it is, I would be careful tonight.
Well, good advice, although perhaps a little late because it was our colleague and friend Stanton here who she addressed. So perhaps she was running a little late on warning him about his broken nose.
You shouldn't make light of it, sir. It's not to be laughed over.
Well, she didn't seem to be any threat, and in fact, didn't feel anything untoward at all. In fact, we thought that she was a perfectly affable member of staff, or perhaps a little distant, shy. But,
From your reaction, could you tell us what befell the last person to be addressed by Nancy?
She kind of looks back at the other staff that are serving around in the restaurant. I've probably already said too much. It's probably nothing. I have work to do. Here, she kind of dumps your cutlery on the table and said, "Your meal shouldn't be too long."
I wouldn't be too worried, Stanton. It probably only affects accountants.
I'll narrow my eyes.
Strange, though. Strange
Yes.
how the fact that we've just supposedly seen a ghost doesn't appear to concern us, given what we've
Well-
seen already.
I think what troubles me
Yes.
most is that Stanton, you seem to be something of a
A magnet.
magnet for supernatural occurrences right now.
Yes, poor Nancy, if she did come to an untimely end here, maybe what they're saying is true, that it's not her that I should be worried about, but she gives warnings to others.
Maybe it would be safer if you stayed here tonight.
I guess that's the things with portents known as rumours. We don't
Well,
know.
is there no escaping it? Because it doesn't.
Yeah, well,
Because yes, nothing would have
yes.
happened to you if you'd have come with us. But
I know.
the hotel burns down tonight and you die in it.
yes,
Yeah.
we're damned if we do and damned if we don't.
Plus, we'd have to leave him alone with the roll.
In the books.
Okay. Presently, another member of the serving staff, a young lad this time, comes to the table with your food. Hands you all ample plates of your chosen meat with vegetables. And you're just going to tuck them.
I was going to try and poke him to see whether he's real or not. But given that he's delivered food,
Yeah, he's carried the food and put it onto the table. So,
poltergeist then.
is there anything else, gents, that I can get for you?
A bottle of wine, please.
Of
I
course.
think I might need a stiff brandy.
One
For
brandy.
the pain.
Wine.
With your mane, Philistine.
Before my mate.
Okay, he goes off and grabs your required drinks. You eat in silence for the most part. The food is rich and satisfying and settles warmly after a long day. Your meal is finished, and the grandfather clock is approaching 6:30. Okay, the meal is finished. What are you going to do?
In fact, my lucky stars that I noticed that because I might need those 3 hit points later on.
Maybe lend them to Stanton for the evening.
Yeah, actually, speaking of such things, I mean, Stanton, you're obviously injured, but are you? I mean, is it cosmetic, or are you actually still seriously injured? I mean, you took quite a hefty hit.
Well, it was certainly a major punch in the nose, you know. I still feel lightheaded. Yes, I'm certainly not at my best. I can walk and talk. I don't think I'll be getting any fist fight.
Right, so we need to make sure that given that we're going into a particularly perilous situation, we need to keep you back.
And given the painful conversation we just had with the waiter about the state of your face, do we really want to raise those sort of questions with the guards?
Yeah, they're going to look at it and go, "What happened to you?"
Well, I could just say that I was assaulted on my way back
Or
from the pub.
you could take Douglas's attitude from earlier and just say, "None of your business. I'm more important than you are. Shut up. I work for Gavigan. I don't work for you." We don't need to tell them anything.
No, we don't.
No.
So either we decide we don't want to get into that conversation and you stay here, or when we get there, you go, "None of your business."
Yes.
Pretend to be a tough nut. See if you can manage it.
I think, would it be better if you came with us, Stanton? Because I think if we leave you here, you'll be with that scroll and
Yeah, I think he's going to
Worrying.
come. I think you're right. He has to come with us. We just need to make sure he's primed so that he doesn't fall over his words when he gets questioned.
Well, I think just keep back initially and don't do any of the
Yes.
talking. And as they say, if you are questioned about it, you don't need to explain yourself to a guard, do you?
Mhm. Yep. No one wants to talk to the accountant. That's my
No.
line.
Well, we'll just get Lex to say, if somebody questions you, Lex can say, he asked me a question, and then hopefully shut up.
Nice.
He didn't mind his own business, or words to that effect, and that would hopefully.
Well,
what-
I know my position. I'm here to read and to
And
look at
what props are we taking? We're taking the statue and in its box, and
Yeah, I'm not taking it out of its box.
yeah, and a couple of the signed pound
Well,
notes.
let's take the scroll with. Let's just take the scroll with us.
Okay.
It's obviously, the most important. We'll take the statue and the scroll. So you can't get rid of the scroll anyway, and it might just turn up at an inconvenient juncture.
Yeah. We might as well
So
take
we might as well.
one of the, or take a pound note each, just in case.
Yep. Let's not offer them up unless it's
No.
because they might have some other significance that we're not aware of.
Mm.
It turns out that those are the ones that Gavigan gives his targets.
Yeah, marked
Yes.
for death.
Yes.
We don't want to start waving them around and realise it means we're here for sexy time.
Yes, I found it slipped into my shorts last time I was at the foundation.
Let's skip the pub and get straight to it then.
Yep.
Absolutely, there's no reason to sit around.
Okay, so you're going to head out of here. The walk, if you remember, was about 45 minutes from here to the
Mhm.
to the Henson site. Okay, so you other than obviously, I know that you're armed because we've already discussed that, and in the scroll and the little statue, everything else, most of the other stuff is in the vaults at the station anyway, or the kind of lockers at the station. Okay, you head out into the cold Derbyshire night, and begin through the town centre, and then out west onto the road that heads towards Mikalova. You're just leaving the kind of main urban built-up area, the main kind of town centre, and you pass the last pub you remember coming past is the Bedford Arms, which kind of more or less marks the border between the actual town, where there are lots of houses and shops, etc., and then it kind of goes into a more open, kind of common land type of area for a mile or so, before the road then enters into like an industrial area where all the kind of factories and workshops and so forth are. So you're just gonna head straight to Henson Manufacturing then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
One question about the book of design. We wouldn't have left that in the hotel, so would it be fine to assume we took that to the lockers when we collected the other item?
Or you can carry it with it. We're not going to leave it lying around.
No.
So it's either with us or it's in the locker.
Yeah, because you were still reading it there when
Yeah,
Douglas went to the locker.
in which case we'll either have to leave it or we take a detour, or you bring it with us.
It's another 20-minute in the opposite direction to the station, and then 20-minute back again.
How big's the book?
It's about it's a fair old size. But it's probably 1.5 size of A4 in terms of height.
All right, so
yeah, so it's not absolutely
could
enormous.
potentially be a ledger size, so it's not going to be something that you can hold. So Stanton
Mm.
could fit it in a briefcase or something.
Yeah.
It's about the size of a ledger.
Excellent, that'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it with you, Stanton.
You can take it with. So you've got the book with you as well. Who's got the scroll?
Stanton.
Stanton has the scroll. What, inside your pocket in your coat or something? Or
Yes, roll inside my pocket, book in knapsack.
yeah. And who's got the Cthulhu statue?
I'll carry that in my bag.
Okay. When you say your bag, is that like a what sort of? Is it like a backpack?
Sort of like more like a messenger bag.
Okay. Right.
Yes, and my first aid medical bag as well. If there's room up at the knapsack with the book.
Yeah, okay. Right, passing the pub, the road soon leaves the built-up area and is flanked by a wide expanse of common ground on both sides for about a mile or so, with only the occasional light visible from a distant dwelling set back on the grassy expanse. Overhead, clouds gather as rain threatens once again. About 20 minutes or so after leaving after passing the Bedford Arms, the open common land once again gives way to a more industrial area with the dark shapes of factories, workshops and warehouses looming on either side of the road in the darkness. You see up ahead now, you can see there are 3 buildings that are huddled together on the left-hand side of the road. The first one being, on the right-hand side of the road, the first one being an old brickworks that you remember seeing before. Then there's the Henson manufacturing site directly after that. A 10-foot brick wall surrounds the site, and I don't know if you remember before, there's like a large double wrought iron gate which affords entry to vehicles, and then there's a smaller gate next to it, which is for foot traffic. Or just
We should be avoiding dark satanic mill.
on the map, use it. What can you guys actually see on the Roll20 at the moment? Because I can't. Somehow.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I can see a standard backdrop, but I can't see a map.
Yeah, the London map has gone, but it is
Yeah.
yet to be replaced.
Still
we
got
do
the
have
sort
the
of,
portraits.
the portraits of Barrington, etc.
Yeah,
Still got those. Okay.
still got those. Just the London map's gone.
Well, London's
Is it-
Oh,
appeared.
no, it's back.
Okay. So everything you can see the table, and the
Mhm.
London map's back, and you got the postcard and all the other things. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. That's good. Okay. So the one.
Oh, and that map where all the monsters are located.
Whee!
Ho, ho, ho. Okay, so now we can see the Utoxeter Road map. To
Yes.
Mickle over to the left, to Derby to the
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Old brickworks and the old barn.
Yeah. So you're coming from this direction, from Derby. So
Derby, past the old brickworks.
that's the first gate, the small gate that's got the forward exit to pedestrians. This is the big gate. These are the 2 big buildings that you saw. So this is the one. This building over here is the one that you thought some sort of large shed or furnace. It's got a big chimney on it.
Okay.
And this is the one that you thought was like some sort of workshop office type building.
Okay.
Yeah, your pings aren't showing.
Okay.
So the workshop by the old barn on the left.
The workshop is on the left, yeah, and the big
Yes.
the furnace building is on the
The
right.
furnace building by the old brickworks on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's the one
that
that's a bit.
makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously it's dark. What are you going to do?
Is there
Well,
any
we've got the big
any
gate,
bell
we've
or
got the
any-
little gate.
Is there any
Mhm.
bell or any means of, because the gates are presumably closed, are they? And
Yeah, you
locked?
could. The gates are wrought iron, so you can see straight through them. Both of them. But as you approach the first gate, which is obviously which is the smaller one of the 2, you can see a really hefty chain that secures it with a big padlock on it. But glancing through the gate into the yard beyond, you can see quite obviously there's somebody standing in the middle of the yard with a torch, dressed up against the cold. And he's got a torch in one hand and a shotgun in the other.
Blimey.
Shall I lead with this, or
Yeah, I'll go for it.
so I'll make sure I've got Gavigan's business card and one of the pound notes to hand just in case. But I'll keep those in my pocket, and I'll approach the gate and call over to the guard. Excuse me, sir. Sir.
He can't. He turns around and shouts, "What? We're closed."
I gathered that. We're here from Mr. Gavigan. We're rather delayed, unfortunately. The train was late. We need to, you come over here. I'd rather discuss business in a slightly more personal environment.
You'll have to come back tomorrow, mate.
Mr. Gavigan's given us strict instructions.
You'll have to come back tomorrow, mate.
As I say, Mr. Gavigan's given us strict instructions. He's not a man I want to go back and have to explain myself to.
He walks a bit closer to the gate. And he says, and then you hear him shout. Well, he shouts, "Frank, over here!" And he walks a bit closer. You see, he's probably about 10 yards away from the gate now. He's got his shotgun over his shoulder. Like he shines the torch in the direction, so you can't really. You can make him out. You make him out as his silhouette is quite a kind of short, stocky man, but you can't really see too much of his features because of the fact that he's shining the light at you.
Is he coming any closer, or is that as far as he seems to?
He stands about 15 feet away. He says, "Look, you best just disappear if I were you."
Sir, we've been sent from London by Mr. Gavigan with urgent instructions to place something in the safe here. We would have arrived during business hours, but the train was delayed. I don't know if you've met Mr. Gavigan, but he's not a man to be trifled with, and I'd be so grateful if you could just cut us a little bit of a break here. I don't want to have to go back to London and explain myself to Mr. Gavigan.
Funny that, because we had Mr. Gavigan on the phone earlier today. He didn't mention nothing about it.
That's rather strange.
Let me just wait for my boss to come over, and then we'll maybe talk it over a bit more. Frank! He whistles and retreats a little bit from the gate. What are you going to do?
Wait.
Okay. So eventually, you see another guard or somebody come out of the a door at the bottom right hand side of the workshop building. Let me see. Okay, see quite a large guy with kind of a shock of unkempt hair, wearing bib and braces. He's also carrying a shotgun as well. You see, and they both approach, still keeping a distance between the gate and where they are, so they're no closer than like 15 feet away. Gavigan sent you, did he? Says the other guy.
He did late this afternoon. We took the last train. We were hoping to get here before closing time, but our train was somewhat delayed, and as you can see, we're a little later than we wanted to be. We've got something that Gavigan wants secured in the safe.
He kind of sneers at you. I'd disappear if I was you. They both lower their shotguns, point them directly at you. We know exactly who you are.
And who are we?
People that Mr. Gavigan isn't too fond of. That's all you need to know. So just get lost.
Or what? Are you going to shoot us? Because I'm sure you wouldn't be, one, wanting the attention of the police, and two, the attention to Mr. Gavin when he finds out what you've done.
You're the ones who are outside. We're inside. If you try and climb that wall or try and get in here, then yeah, I'll shoot you. You're cleverer than that, though, aren't you? Disappear.
Do you know what we're carrying? It is for Gavigan.
They turn and walk off. Just come on. Let's go and phone Mr. Gavigan and tell him. You can hear that as they walk away. He said we might have some people snooping around. Fucking Londoners. He didn't sound like a Londoner. And then they trail off. You can't hear us what they're saying.
We're too slow. Well, Gavigan can't do anything anyway from that far away, so we've got time. Thoughts, gentlemen?
We're not going to get in unless we take an extremely direct route.
Time for an extremely direct route, then.
If they're going into the building, let's try and get this.
They walk away across the yard, and you can see they're not actually going into the building, but they go to the building.
Are they phone? They're going to go use the phone?
That's that. One of them stands outside, and the other one goes in through the door.
Okay.
Well, let's back off a little up the street just to go out the view.
Shouldn't we be showing the note? Shouldn't we be showing the Gavigan note just to try one more time?
Yeah.
I think we've gone past the point of no return with this. They're telling us they've been warned off. We're going to talk our way in, are we?
Well, we're not going to be able to rush him when he's got a shotgun.
No. I'll take out one of the notes and put my arm through the gate and hold it out for him. Go shout in my.
Go what? Sorry.
Take the signed Gavigan pound
and
put my hands through the gate with the pound out. Okay, and just shout, "Look! If we were Gavigan's enemies, people you didn't want snooping around, would you have given us this?"
There's no response from the guard at the door. He just stands there.
How far away is he?
He's about 30 yards. No, he's not. He's about 15 yards. 15 yards away. If you look at the map. If you look at the scale, yes, it's about it's in the bottom right hand corner of the door, a little bit further. I know my ping's not. Yeah, the bottom right hand corner of the building. So yeah, it's about 15 yards, so 45 feet away.
15 yards.
How high's the wall?
10 foot.
15 yards, standard range for a Colt 1911.
I know, but it's quite gunfire. Why don't you?
Not great range for a shotgun. Bit far away.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we have to
be loud.
Well, why don't we? You two of us wait here. Two go around the other side and jump the wall and get around behind them. You can't watch both of us. All of us.
Well, if we all move 10 foot back along the street, they won't be able to see any of us.
Yeah, I know, but we want to try and keep their attention so that they think that. So if you,
I'll go round and climb.
How good you? Yeah, that's. Are you going to be able to take one out? I was thinking that maybe me and Lex went in because we're both.
Yeah, I think so.
If you want to try and do it quietly, then yeah.
The idea isn't to do it quietly. It's what I'm suggesting is two of it. We can debate who does it. Two of us stay at the gate. If we make it look like that the two that are still there are talking to the other two who are just out of shot, out of view, sorry. So they look like they're stood just on the side of the gate, but in fact they're not there. You're just pretending that you're talking to somebody. The other two sneak round the back and jump over the wall and try and get behind them and take them out.
Okay, so Stanton and I'll stay here, and you and Lex over the.
Does that work? But I've moved where I'm standing so that I'm now stood behind the wall and I'm still talking to Stanton.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and I'll get Lex to do the same.
I'll give you a boost up. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. So let's we'll move off and we'll move off to the opposite side of the
Okay. You move around the back of the walled compound area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'm going to try and get onto the top of the wall, and then and then help Lex climb over the wall as well. Well, that's only 10 feet. He could probably make it on his own.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So he gives you a boost up.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So once you're on top of the wall, what are you doing? Waiting for Lex to join you.
And then we'll just drop down on the other side.
And you guys are still carrying on as if you're talking.
Yeah, as we
Yep.
do it, is this padlocked or an
Yeah, it's
ordinary lock?
padlocked. Chain round it. Big chain wrap round it, and then a padlock.
Okay. Can we see Lex and Douglas?
No, because it's dark. So it's about 50 yards across that yard. So yeah, it's there's no light over there. I presume you're not. No, they wouldn't be using a torch, would they? So you drop down on the other side, and those two. You see, there are two smaller buildings. One of them there's almost like a little shed area building. The square one that's probably a toilet, and then there's a smaller kind of there's like a wooden shed over there as well, which is probably like a sort of tool shed size. So what are you going to do from where you are? There's a back door to that building as well, which is over where it's annoying that my pinger's not working, but where that odd kind of building at an angle is on the left hand side, and
Yeah.
so there's like a door there as well in the big. There,
Is
that's
there?
it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
worked. Yeah.
That wasn't mine. That's why.
That was me.
Yeah, there's a door there as well.
I think I'm whispering to Lex that one's inside on the phone. We should take the one out that's outside and worry about the one inside later. If you get up to him and knock him out, I don't want to. Because you're much stronger than me, and then we'll worry about the guy inside.
Absolutely. Let's do that. I'll sneak up to him.
Okay. Are you both sneaking up to him, or just you, Lex?
Just me.
Yeah,
Cover me with your firearm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Whereabouts are you staying then, Douglas?
I am going to get myself some cover. I'll move forward to the point where I can. Cause I can't see this guy, can I?
No, because it's dark.
He's on the other. Well, yeah. Okay. I'll move forward. I'll sneak forward up until the point where I think until I can see him. But if he's on the other side of the building,
you won't be able to see him. No, unless you go round the corner of the building. No.
Okay. In which case, I am going to. So he's about there, is he?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I'm going.
In that case, don't worry about covering me with your firearm.
Okay.
I'll just have to get in there and
Yeah, if it starts,
you'll soon know if I need help because he'll be making noise.
Yeah.
So Lex, your plan is to sneak down the side of that building and then just literally just round the corner and jump him. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
And as soon as I start hearing kerfuffle, I am going to follow him.
I mean, if he's got his shotgun over his shoulder, I just need to get close enough to rush him and knock his lights out.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you trying to say something then?
Yeah, presumably Lex is going to have to come sort of heading down on the right-hand side of the building. I should be able to see him, shouldn't I, from where I am? He's 15 yards away. It's just if I can see him, I think what I'm going to do is when he's on his way down, I'm going to start fiddling with the lock to try and draw the guard, get the guard's attention and draw him sort of across from the front corner of the building, because that way he'll sort of pass where Lex is, and Lex should be able to jump him easier from behind.
Okay, so it's pitch dark. So there's no light here at all. And you're going to be when he gets like halfway down that building, he's going to be about 25 yards from you. So I think that you need to make a spot roll to see whether you can actually see him.
Yes, that's an ordinary success.
Okay. So when he gets halfway down the side of that building, then I'm going to say that at that point you can see him. Okay.
Okay.
Lex, I need you to make a stealth roll, please.
I'm going to start fiddling with the lock and the chain at that point.
Yeah.
I have not succeeded my stealth roll.
Okay. Because of the fact that Jacob is fiddling with the lock, and therefore potentially drawing the guard's attention away, I will give you a bonus die on that roll.
Yeah, I'm not being quiet about it.
Oh, no. I did not succeed on my bonus die.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second.
Needs more dice to roll for damage.
No, I needed to get my cheat sheet. Okay.
Let's face it, I always knew I was just going to be rushing him.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you move as quietly as you can down the side of the building. It's quite dark, and you kind of hear your foot scuff on the floor underneath you as you're taking the last few steps before you get around the corner. So you turn the corner of the building, and the guard has heard you coming. He turns low, and it's the first thing that he does is lower his gun.
Rush him?
Right. Okay. So just going to see what. Okay. You lower. He lowers his gun, and you rush straight at him as fast as you can. He panics and and pulls the trigger just as you're getting to him. What are you going to do? You can try and dive out of the way, or you can just you could, because you're right close to him. If you can fight back by you can either dive out of the way, or you can try and fight back by grabbing hold of the barrel of the gun. But obviously, you need to be successful to do that.
I will grab the barrel of the gun.
Okay, so you need to make
Pull it out of his hand.
Yeah, you need to. Okay, so you need to make a brawl roll for that, please.
I can offer you an extreme success.
An extreme success is very
An
good.
extreme success, indeed.
You probably needed that. Okay, I can heave the shotgun. Okay, you managed to grab hold of the end of the shotgun, and somehow miraculously thrust it out of the way. Just as the barrel is released, you actually feel the force as the shotgun goes off. Well, it's more or less right in front of you, but you managed to push the barrel out of the way, and you're going to try and grab hold of it. Then, yeah.
It's my turn to action.
So he's tried to shoot you. You've managed to grab hold of it as you're.
So if I've got one hand yanking the shotgun out of my face, I will put my other hand in his face as hard as I can.
Right. Okay. So it's your you're trying to punch him, are you?
Yeah.
You're gonna try and knock him out.
Absolutely.
Okay. You need to make a maneuver, so it's a normal brawling roll.
And I'm running at this point.
I've got a hard success.
Okay, so he fights back by trying and yank the shotgun away from your grasp. Well, he's going to try and hit you with it, basically, which is not a success. Okay, so you managed to hit him. You're just punch him directly in the face.
Yep. Just normal damage.
I'm going to have a look. Just bear with me a second.
Okay, sorry. I'll roll it, so I'm ready. Okay.
You were trying to knock him out with a maneuver.
Yeah.
Okay, you smack him in the face. Okay. No, you've done it as a maneuver, so you can just knock him straight out, which is what you've done. He only does 1 hit point of damage, but you've knocked him out.
Okay. I'm now the owner of a shotgun.
Yeah.
I'll crack it.
You creep around the corner. He panics, tries to shoot at you. You manage to grab hold of the shotgun and thrust the barrel out of the way as the shotgun goes off. Then with the other hand, you just crack him in the face, which probably like rabbit punch him, and just goes straight down and knocked out. But obviously the shotgun's gone off, so it's very loud. What are the rest of you doing?
As soon as I see this, go right. As soon as I see this going south, I'm going to climb over. I'll climb over the gate rather than the wall, because I can presumably use the chain as a foothold.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to climb over.
What do you mean going south? This is exactly going to plan.
It's gone great.
It wasn't quite the plan, but you turned it round. We're heading in a northwesterly direction now.
So you're trying to climb over You're climbing over the gate. What are you doing, Stanson?
I will then have a look up and down the road and try to follow.
Okay, there's nothing coming up or down the road.
Then
You're going
we
to
need
climb
to get this-
climb
we
over
need to
as
get
well.
this padlock open so we can get out.
I've got time.
You're already halfway up. What are you doing, Blake?
I am running to catch up with Lex.
Okay, Lex, you're now in.
Gun out.
Yeah. Okay, Lex, you've obviously got the one guard is at your feet. You've grabbed hold of the shotgun.
I'll crack it. See if it's got any live shells in it.
It's a double barrel and it's only got one shell in it remaining. One cartridge.
Okay, fine. Crack the back closed, so I know I've got one ready to go, and then
Okay.
we'll head straight to the door.
Okay. So you've got the gun kind of down and ready to go, have you?
Yeah.
You open.
Is this building? Is it how many floors?
You think it's only got one floor?
Can I see where the telephone line comes out?
You can have a look.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take a quick look.
Okay. Yeah. So are you're just going to go through? You open the door then, Lex, and you see an L-shaped corridor ahead of you, which bends round to the right. There's a door on the left at the end, and there's a door almost directly ahead of you at the far end of the corridor. What are you going to do?
I'll head ahead of me. Oh, well, on the left. I don't know any different.
You're just going to go straight in and move forward, yeah?
Yeah, go forward.
Can you make a spot roll?
Me?
No, Lex.
Okay.
Oh, I saw the one and I got excited, but it's not a success, unfortunately.
Okay. There is a bit of light in this corridor. There seems to be some light coming from the door directly ahead, and also a light coming from under the door to the left as well. At the end, both at the end of the corridor. Suddenly the door at the far end of the corridor opens, and you see the silhouette of a man standing in the doorway with pointing a shotgun directly at you. And he basically just pulls the trigger. I presume you're going to do the same.
Yes.
Okay, let's use the
As
first.
diving out of the way doesn't feel like it's going to be effective with shotgun shell.
Well, you could.
No,
the
I'm going to pull. As soon as the door opens, I want to pull the trigger.
Yeah, the door's been flung open.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as that happened, you were just literally just glancing in the other direction, and the door opens, and then the man's there, and he pulls the trigger. So he's done that first. So your two options are just to stand there or to try and dive out of the way. That's not really much of an option, is it? Dive for cover basically means that you could just kind of almost like dive back out of the. Maybe you go back out of the door, try and use that as cover.
I think realistically, I'm going to attempt to shoot back, which means standing where I am.
Right. Okay.
And if you could help me out by rolling terrible now, that would be great.
Okay. So he's only about.
Well,
Yeah.
because if it was me on the end of that shotgun, I would roll a malfunction at this point because it's or alternatively.
That
that's
isn't terrible.
No, that's probably a success. I would have thought
it is a success. I'm just gonna
might be worse than that.
You'd have to be very, very good with a shotgun for that to be more than a hard success.
Yeah, it's not an impale. Work out how much damage it does at that rate.
All the damage. Is it 4d6? Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Stop helping.
What sort of shotgun is it?
It's a 12 gauge, double barreled, and it's full. Anything less than 10 yards, it's 4d6 damage.
Oh, cool.
Okay. You need to make a con roll, please.
Extreme success.
Okay. So you have just been shot with a shotgun, which the rest of you obviously hear an explosion and see Lex. You're almost like span round in the doorway. Miraculously, you don't fall unconscious, do you? I don't think.
I did not fall unconscious. No.
No. So fire back.
Oh my god!
What did I say?
Okay, that is literally.
I can't believe I rolled 100.
100.
That is your fault, Douglas Blake.
Sorry.
You talked it up.
Okay. Yeah. You're literally just looking at him, looking almost in the whites of his eyes. He pulled the trigger and just goes. Nothing happens. Meanwhile, what the rest of you doing? You were looking for the telephone line.
Yeah, well, I've changed my mind now. I've just heard a massive gunshot.
Just heard an explosion, a gunshot. Yeah. So what you gonna do? Head towards?
Yeah, I'm not going through. I'm going to stick my head round the door, very
Yeah.
quickly and then dart back to see what's going on inside. If I can
Okay,
see who's inside.
So when you tried to pull the trigger and it just jammed, Lex, you can also move as well. So what did you want to do? Did you want? I presume you don't just want to stand in the doorway.
No, I would. I'd want to rush him. In actual fact,
Okay. Well, you're gonna rush in.
yeah, close the distance right up to him so that I can brawl next time.
Just mechanically, so that just make sure you're aware. He can fire again at you. You know that, don't you? Before you get to him, because you've had your attack by trying to shoot him.
Yes, but if I close the distance, I might be able to
Yeah, you might be.
grab. I might be able to grab the gun or something.
You're going to
like I
get within
did
point blank
previously.
range. You can get within point blank range, so that you can try and do what you did before.
Yes.
Fight, and if you get a successful fight back against his attack,
Yeah.
then yeah. But if you don't, it's going to be messy.
Yeah.
Pretty messy already. You've practically been cut in half.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing. Is you're going into the corridor.
Yes.
Okay. You
Oh,
kind of you run, or kind of half run, half stagger. Your amazing resilience down the corridor, like the blood dripping, open wounds, charging down the corridor at him. You can come around the corner to the doorway, Douglas. Want to do that?
Yeah. If I
Okay.
can see the other guard at that point, I will try to shoot him.
Okay, so you run around the corner. You see Lex stagger in. You run around the corner. Because you've had to move to get where you are. You can have one shot.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just trying to think about this. You've got Lex in front of you as well, so I'm going to give you a penalty dice because Lex is quite a big obstacle running directly
I
in front.
apologise in advance, Lex, if I shoot you in the back.
apology not accepted.
Right. Okay, that's a regular success. Do you want me to roll another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Okay, yeah, it's just because Lex is in front of you. That's
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Shoot your bullet just slacks into the wall of the corridor, and so the other two, you've got over the wall now. You first, Jacob. What are you going to do when you get down inside? You can obviously hear shooting now.
Is there an obvious light on in any of the rooms in the building? I'm just wondering whether might go through a window.
In the back right of the building, current junk. Again, I can't use the pinger because I don't know. But
Actually,
yeah,
have I seen any flashes through? Because there's been a lot of gunfire, hasn't there? Presumably, I would have seen the flash through the window.
Yeah, you can see. Well, there'll be a blind down probably, but you can see that here, in the back right of that building, if somebody can ping it for me because I can't do it. That's it. There's a window there. Obviously you can see that Lex has just gone in through this door at the bottom, and Douglas is standing with his back to you, firing through that door.
Is there a blind?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow Lex and Douglas then.
Okay, and Stanton, you're coming over the wall as well, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. You charge forward then, Lex. You're right close to the man who came second across the guard, Frank, kind of bedraggled haired, quite stocky man. As you get closer, he sneers, and you see he's got a big scar across his face. What the fuck are you doing? You're not in any real mood to talk, I guess, Lex. You can see there must be a fairly insane look on your face as you drag yourself down the corridor towards him. He retreats into the room that he's in, and he squeezes the trigger again. You need to make a roll to fight back to try and grab hold of the gun.
Hard success.
Hard success. Okay, his shot.
You rolled incredible. How did you roll a 5? You've rolled like a 4, an 11, now a 5.
Yeah, I know.
He's the end of level boss.
Okay. Unfortunately, the result of that is it doesn't really need to take much describing. You're right next to the gun and it just goes off in your face. Even it's going to be max. It's basically 16. Oh yeah, 16 damage, which is just enough to kind of almost decapitate you at that range.
I don't know. I think I'll be all right on minus 15.
Okay, but anyway, what are you doing, Jacob? Not Jacob. Douglas, you're running up the corridor, and you suddenly see Lex's head blown off in front of you.
Yeah, that's like a like vomit moment.
You probably need to make a sanity roll for that, I think.
Oh, excellent.
Unless you have a do you have any kind of hardening to that from your background?
I
can't remember.
do actually. I'm immune. Well, I'm immune to sanity losses resulting from viewing a corpse.
Okay, this might be a little bit different to that then. Seeing one of your friends shot and his head exploding.
Having its head blowing off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I shall. Let me roll. No, I'm not that fast.
Okay.
32. It's just made me
You're
incredibly
just battle hardened. Okay.
angry.
Okay. What are you doing?
I am going to put 3 rounds into the guy that's just shot Lex's head off.
Okay.
So that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. That.
Okay.
Can
Can you roll? He, as you squeeze the trigger, he like dives, tries to get use the door as cover and dives onto the floor into the room that he's in. Can you make? So you need a penalty die on each of those?
Yeah, all 3.
Have you taken a penalty die already for?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't done
that.
that. I haven't done the things on any of those. So the first one, I don't get a penalty die at all, do I? Second one, I do. Third one, I do.
No, you get a penalty die on every shot.
Oh,
You've taken 3 shots, but you now get 2 penalty dice on each shot because he's diving to the ground.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So for the first one, I still a hit and a miss. Second one, still a hit, miss. So all 3 miss.
Yeah. Okay. So with you using 3 shots and then diving to the ground in the room beyond, to smack into the walls and door of that office room. Okay. I presume what you're going to do, because he's literally dived onto the floor now, so he can't do anything else.
Is he still holding his gun?
He's dived back into the room. Yeah, he's still holding his gun, but he's basically lying on the floor.
Okay, I've got 3, 4. I've got 2 shots left. I'm moving up to point blank range, and
okay, so you can move. Yeah, you can move. So you're going to move into. Okay, that's cool. So you fired 3 times at him. He's dived to try and avoid the shots, and then you're moving into the room. Basically.
Yeah, and he's prone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll stand over him.
Okay. The other 2. So Jacob, what are you doing?
Charging up the corridor, drawing my gun from my back of my trousers as I go.
Okay, so you charge up the corridor. You need to make a sanity roll as well, because you see Lex's body with his head basically strewn over the corridor.
Actually, I do have a trait. Mine's not just immune to sanity losses from viewing a corpse. It's also witnessing and performing murder or seeing violence perpetuated against another human being.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say witnessing and performing?
Yeah, well, that's what it says. Witnessing / performing a murder or seeing violence perpetuated against a human being.
Okay,
that says something about your background that we didn't realize.
We don't need to go any deeper into that. Okay, so let's right, because you've moved into the corridor, and because of that, if you get to the doorway, you can have, again, like very similar to the way that what happened previously. You can have 1 shot against the target, but he's prone on the ground, and you've also got Douglas between you and him, so that's a penalty die. If it goes really badly wrong, you can also hit Douglas, i.e. if you fumble. What are you going to do? 3, 2, 1.
Keep running into the room.
Okay, so you're not shooting.
No. I've heard 2 shots, and I knew it was a shotgun. So I think I'm going to improve my odds a bit.
Okay, you run into the room. Okay. So that's it. Then what are you doing, Stanton? Are you running into the corridor as well?
No, I will stand outside the door, poke my head round.
Yeah.
See, there's some things are happening in the corridor. Take out my pistol and watch the guard on the floor that's unconscious, and checking to see, while waiting to find out what's going on inside. I'll just be covering this guard in case he wakes up.
So Douglas, you're standing over the man who's scrambling on the floor to try and get up, basically, and defend himself. What are you going to do?
Shoot him in the head.
Okay. He jumps to his feet as you're doing that, and basically tries to wrestle the gun from you.
I thought he was prone. Okay, fine.
He is prone, but he's able to fight back by standing up.
Damn him and his legs.
Yeah. Okay. So he gets the penalty die on that. So if you make a hit roll first,
That's point blank range, though, isn't it?
point blank range, so you get a bonus die. 79.
So that's still a minute.
Okay.
Quality shooting. My gun is now empty.
Okay. He's going to try and basically, yeah, he kind of stands up and he's going to swings the shotgun at you. Okay, that's fine because that was his. That's cool. His fight back was. So you missed, didn't you, with your shot anyway?
Yep.
Yeah. So he didn't need to fight back. So he's tried to hit you with a shotgun. You can try and fight back as a result of that if you want to. He swings a shotgun at you and tries to club you with it. You can either dodge out of the way or you can try and fight back.
Can I actually? I've still got 1 round left. Can I shoot him again, or just say is this just in response to?
This is your response to him rather than your.
So I can't shoot again with a response. In which case I'll try and hit him in the face with the pistol.
Okay.
If he's trying to hit me. That's brawl, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, that's a hit. Just a regular.
Okay. So yeah, roll the damage for a normal kind of. I think it's
No, what would it count as? Brass knuckles?
yeah. Is it D3
D3. That's the same as just a regular punch. Yeah.
plus your damage bonus?
Yeah, D3.
Should be more than that, though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, a standard brawl does 1d3 plus damage bonus. Brass knuckles does a 1d3 plus 1 plus damage bonus.
Yeah, that's what it is then. It's 1d3 plus 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that 3.
So you rolled a
4.
5.
Yeah,
Four,
isn't
isn't
that
it?
4? Isn't that
4.
4 plus your damage bonus?
Yeah.
I don't have any damage bonus. 4.
Okay. Okay, you smack him in the face with the pistol. Goes sprawling back against the wall. Jacob, you're standing directly behind this. What are you going to do?
Shoot him 3 times.
Okay. Again, because he's in close combat with a colleague, I'm going to give you a penalty die on that. But then that's negated by the bonus die for being point blank range, so it's just a straight.
Shot 1 is a miss. Shot 2 is a miss. God. Guess what? Shot
Absolute
3 is a miss.
charmed life, this bloke.
Wow.
How many times has
Yeah.
he been shot at now?
Enough.
7 times?
Okay. Stanton, are you just staying outside still?
Yep. Well, I can still hear the gunfire.
Yeah.
I'll stand nervously with my gun pointed at this guard.
Okay. Right. The guy. He's So he's obviously bullets are ringing all around. He just turns, and he throws himself through the window.
Can I shoot him as he goes?
Just uses the shotgun to smash the window and then throws himself through it. So that's his action.
You're going to get
So-
tangled up in the blind.
No, I don't think the blind has enough weight to actually pull him back. But you're both behind him. So again, did you say you had 1 round left, Douglas?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot him with my 1
Okay.
round.
Okay.
Watch him dodge this.
You're not going to get a So basically, what he's doing is effective diving for cover anyway. So but you also point blank, so it's just a straight
Yeah.
roll.
Yay! That's a hit.
Okay.
All right. So that is 1d10 plus 2. Yes. 12 damage.
Okay. You shoot him in the back of the neck as he's going through the window, and he gets to the other side, and you obviously follow him to the window with a glass everywhere. He momentarily tries to scramble to his feet and then just collapses. With blood. Silence reigns.
Go back to Lex. I literally dashed past him in the corridor. I think I know what the answer to this is, but I'm going to go back and see if he's all right.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do. It's just like literally just been
Oh.
blown point blank by.
I
Once it
reloading.
goes,
I'm reloading
Sorry.
my pistol, by the way.
once it goes quiet, poke my head round and say, "What's going on?"
I don't respond. I walk back out to where the other guard is, and I shoot him in the head.
Okay. He's still unconscious, so you can just put your gun next to him and shoot him.
Yep.
Stanton, you're a little bit shocked by this, I guess.
Yeah. I'll look at the guard. Look at Douglas.
Looks
What happened?
it's got a lot of blood all over him, but none of it seems to be his own.
Drag the body inside, Stanton. We've got work to do.
Okay, I'll try to drag the body.
I'll
Is he
give you a
big?
hand.
Is he a big lad?
I'll give you a hand.
Another
Is
one on
the-
that side, isn't it?
Is the other guards on the outside, isn't he? He's on the. He went
Yeah.
through the window.
Through the window. Yeah.
I'll go round the outside, then drag his body back through the door.
Okay.
Close the door.
Yeah, he's quite a lot bigger than the other one, but yeah, you drag him through back into the inside. You obviously the actual corridor that you're in is pretty horrible to see. The aftermath of Lex's misfortune, pretty sight. Stanton, have you gone inside?
Yeah, I've been dragging the guard in.
Yeah,
so
you need to
with my back.
you need to make a sanity roll because you're going to see
yeah.
Lex at some point. So just get
Yeah,
over.
so work out what time I turn around and see him.
Failed.
Yeah, I'll double up and fall to my knees.
You fall to the knees, and it's as much you can't stop the contents of your stomach being released in the corridor as you see what's happened to your friend. I'm going to check the loss on this. Carry on whilst I look at this up. You lose 3 sanity points.
I'll grab Stanton round the shoulders and sort of pull him onto his feet and pull him through into the room out of the corridor.
Okay. You begin to recover, but obviously it's affected you quite badly.
Sit down, Stanton.
I'll sit down with my head in my hands.
The room that you're in at the end seems to be some sort of office. There's only like a large desk in the centre of the room. The large desk and a large cabinet. That's pretty much the only thing that's the trappings of the gunfight they've just had.
Douglas, we can't let Lex's loss be in vain. We've got a job to do, and I'm going to start looking at what's in the desk to begin with.
No, we tear this place apart. We find everything we can. Then we sort out Gavigan.
So I'll start by searching the desk.
Okay.
We're just not even looking at Lex's body. Just
Where have you just left it where it fell?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For now.
Yeah, it's in the charnel house of a corridor.
Right. Okay. Let's.
So
the room that he so this is the room that he came from. Telephone in here, I'm assuming.
yes, telephone on the desk, which is pretty much the only thing that is on the desk. There's not you rifle through some papers that are in a drawer that's not locked, but there doesn't really seem to be anything of any interest in there. The desk itself doesn't yield anything that would warrant your attention. The other item of furniture is a large cabinet with various drawers in it.
Look at that
You're
next.
going to look through those.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a lot of what look like various technical blueprints in here, which you start looking at.
I'll help looking through the papers.
Okay.
Focus on that.
Okay. So the blueprints, a lot of them seem to be kind of fairly standard mechanical blueprints, and some you can tell that some of them probably even date back to the previous company that was there. Because there's company names on here that actually don't there's nothing to do with Henson at all, and there's some quite mundane blueprints for some various pieces of machinery. But there are in one drawer in particular, there are some really interesting blueprints that are really quite baffling in some ways. So they kind of, as you spread them onto the table, the reason that they draw your attention is because you see a lot of weird kind of sigils drawn on the blueprints. And with all of the kind of text that you found recently in the odd scrolls, and even the sigils that you remember seeing scrawled on the walls in the cellar in Juju House, these things now, even though you don't know what they are becoming familiar.
So we have esoteric blueprints.
Correct. They're kind of dizzyingly complicated. Many of them are annotated with tiny spidery handwriting. Some of them have these strange kind of occult sigils drawn in the margins, and all of these weird ones have the signature on the bottom, which each of them is signed the Pale Viper. Does anybody? So can everybody make a? Does anybody have any engineering or physics or mechanical repair?
Yeah, me. I've got loads and all 3 of those.
I've got a very basic mechanical repair. In fact, the
mechanical
The most
repair,
basic, rudimentary.
Yeah.
electrical repair.
Okay, anybody's got a mechanical repair? Okay.
Yeah, it's outside my knowledge.
No,
No.
no idea
Okay,
at all.
no, you got it. When I said they were dizzyingly complicated, I was actually correct.
Yeah, my head's spinning.
But you do have. There are certain words on here that you've they sound They sound technical, but you don't. Things like inertial measurement unit and accelerometer, thrust vector control, actuators, reaction control system, and star tracker. And there are pictures of things in these schematics. The star tracker has something like a cylindrical device with a lens at one end. The reaction control systems has a picture of what look to be an array of small nozzle-like thrusters. And the where it says control actuators, thrust vector control, they're like pictures of what look to be small engine, maybe hydraulic parts, connected to nozzles via other rods. And then there's like fins, like wing-like structures that are connected to small motors. So all of it has some sort of weird mechanical, electronic relevance, but something that we have no idea what these parts will be for.
Oh, sounds like Jules Verne type things.
So I don't understand any of the mechanics of it. But what about the occult symbol?
Yeah, well, you have experienced enough to realise that they're not just occult symbols. They are actually symbols. Can you make a centaur roll for me, please?
Can I do that as well? Because I've been looking at them too.
Yeah. Okay. No, you don't. Other than recognise them as being the same type of symbols that you've seen in the text that you've read and the scrolls that you've looked at. There's nothing really gleaned from them at this stage.
Okay, well, we'll take these.
We'll take these. Yeah. I'm presuming there's no evidence of any walk-in safe in this room.
Not in this room, there isn't. No.
Should we quickly check the building, the rest of the building?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find the safe. Work out how to get in. So any keys would help.
Have the guards got any? Unlikely to have keys to the safe, but have they got any keys on them? They'll at least have the padlock key to the safe.
Both guards have got keys on them.
I'll take a set of keys.
Okay.
I'll have a look out the window into the yard. Is there a truck or a car around?
There is one truck outside.
Tell the others. Do any of the keys from the guards look like they could be for a truck?
No, but there is a set of keys that are hanging on on the wall in the office, which look like truck keys.
Take those.
Okay.
See what you're thinking, Stanton. Should we be taking the bodies with us?
I think so.
Well, not just yet. Hey.
Right, so you're going to go out of this. You're going to go out of this office room and try and have a look in the rest of the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we split up to speed up a bit? I don't think we can afford to be hanging around here for too long.
Yes.
Okay. Then it feels pretty obvious that the door, as you come out of the office, the door to your right will be the one that opens into the main part of the building, because there's another door opposite where the office is, but that would only be a small room, so there's no way that could be a workshop or anything. So it depends on which way you want to go, really. There's a small room ahead of you, or a door which opens into what is probably a larger part of the building to the right.
I'll head out into the larger area.
Okay.
I'll walk towards the smaller one.
Okay. Stanton, you check the the door to the smaller one isn't locked. You're gonna open it?
Very carefully with my gun drawn. I'll open it.
Okay, you open the door and you see inside. It's basically what looks to be some sort of kind of restroom kitchen. There's a table in the centre, some chairs around it, and then there's a sink which looks like a store cupboard for food. Okay. So are you going into are you following Jacob into the main area, Blake?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm pounding in a very businesslike, urgent fashion.
Yeah. Okay, you open the door. The door to this room is locked, but you've got a key. So you unlock the door and you open it, and you find yourself in a large workshop. And what I mean is pretty much it takes up probably 3/4 of the building. Consists of large wooden benches, lathes, shelves holding all manner of tools. So I presume you're going to wander into the workshop?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a large fireplace in the centre. Wooden beams crisscross the ceiling from which hangs a block and tackle. There are sacks, what look like sand, sawdust. There are crates, pieces of metal strewn around the place. There's an unlocked cupboard which looks to have a flasks of various chemicals, including resins, acids, and other unpleasant substances. As you're kind of wandering around, all of you having a look at the contents of the workshop. Off to the left, Jacob, you notice there's an alcove which indeed has a huge walk-in safe.
I'll go and inspect it.
You see obviously the huge door. It looks to be a pretty modern safe, and on first inspection of the lock, you have a feeling that it's quite complex and might be pretty difficult to open.
Is it a combination or a key? Or
It's a key lock.
presumably none of the keys on the guard's key rings fit it,
Nope.
do they?
No.
I have to search the place. Maybe the key is here somewhere, unless it's with Gavgan.
That might be where it is. Do you want to search and I'll see if I can? I think this is going to be an almost impossible task, but shall I see if I can get in?
Yeah.
So having just looked in the little kitchen, I'll close the door to that and follow the others into the.
Okay. Yeah, you wander around having a look at the various
So-
bits that I've just described.
Turn to Douglas. Where are we looking? Where do you want me?
Everywhere. Everywhere and nowhere. I don't know. We should maybe go and look in the other building.
I'll look over at Jacob. We looking for a key?
We're
Or
looking for a key. We're looking for a key that you can see the size of the lock. Any key you can find.
Okay. Can you are you going to try and open it then, Jacob?
I will, yeah.
Okay. Make a locksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm not
It's
going to do it. That's an ordinary success, so probably
no.
not.
It's a very expensive safe with a very difficult lock to open, and you're not going to be able to do it without the key.
Can I have a go before we spend extended time? Don't hold out much hope. You're better at it than I am, but you never know. No, that's a shame. I've read that the wrong way around.
Yeah. No. It's
No, beyond my ability, way beyond my ability.
searching around in here. There's a few packing labels that you find, which which say Randolph Shipping Company, Port Darwin, Northern Territory, Dominion of Australia, which I think you've seen one similar to that
We
previously.
have.
We
Yeah.
have, yeah.
You say they're labels, they're not.
Yeah, they're
packages,
labels.
not- okay.
No, they're not packages, they're just
They're
packing
probably
labels.
storing stuff in there and then shipping it out. We need to find that key. Everything's in there, isn't it? Right.
maybe the tool shed buried and hidden in there somewhere.
I don't know. So with this building in here again, the one at the funny angle is.
Yes, we haven't been in there yet, but you think it's some sort of. It's got a big chimney on the front, so you think it might be some sort of furnace. It's on the top, sorry, not on the front. A big chimney.
Okay. And that is a tool shed, is it?
Yeah.
Um,
No, the small one is
that's
a toilet, and the other
A
one's
toilet, and that is
Yeah.
a tool shed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the tool shed then.
Yep.
They should all stick together. I am going to go and take the shotguns. If somebody else does turn up, I don't want them picking them up and using them on us.
Mhm.
Do the guards carry any other cartridges with them? Shotgun shells.
Are you going to search them both? I know.
Yeah. So if they've got anything on them at all.
Okay. So the guard that was outside, you find some. Yeah, he's in his pockets. He's got shotgun cartridges. So he's got 8 altogether.
Right.
Okay. And the other one that went out the window. So you're searching through his pockets to try and find any shotgun cartridges, of which he has 10 on him. But you also, as you're searching, you chance across something hard in the lining of his jacket.
Oh, okay. Retrieve it.
Okay, it's
You know-
small and hard and key-sized.
Awesome.
So you rip the. It's kind of underneath the pocket. So you rip the lining, and there is a small. Well, not. It's a key, and it would be about the right size to fit the safe.
Excellent.
After you. I'll reload my gun actually as Douglas is doing, or remind me.
Yeah, I'll reload my pistol as well.
Want me to load the shotguns just in case?
Well, yeah, but I'll hand a shotgun to Stanton and I'll give him 9 cartridges. Jacob, do you want a shotgun?
No, I'll stick with. Do you want me to open this while you cover me?
Yeah,
or-
I'll
Mhm.
I'll hold I'll hold the shotgun, but yeah, I'll give you the key.
I'll
In case
open the
there's
safe.
something in there. If when you open the door, in case there's a creature in there that's more than monster, we better be ready. And I will level a shotgun.
I'll unlock the safe, hopefully.
Okay, you use the key that Douglas has found.
I'll very slowly pull the door open just to begin with, so it's just open an inch or so. Listen as before I open any.
Right, you open the heavy, huge walk-in safe door. You listen. You can't hear it.
Pull it open.
Okay, pull the door open, and you see the contents of the safe. There are 5 crates that are almost lost really in the size of the safe. But you're surprised at the kind of size and thickness of the door to this safe and how much security there is for 5 relatively small crates. You're going to go and have a look at.
Yeah.
Okay. You open the first crate, and the things that you saw on the blueprints are the actual the things that are in these crates are actually those things having been manufactured. Various weird electronic, mechanical components is things that you have no idea what their uses are. But it seems that the company is using the blueprints to manufacture these things. Oddly, though, as you have a look in some of the other crates, whereas some of the things are really new and obviously having just been manufactured, others, there are other versions of these same things that look to be absolutely ancient, almost like archaeological. Weird, but they have almost like the same appearance. But the materials and the metals and the materials that are used in the construction of these older ancient items are completely baffling, like metals that you've never seen before.
So it looks like we've got very ancient objects, and then they've made copies out of modern materials.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly that. But the ancient objects are so fantastical, as you said, like Jules Verne. They're so fantastically science fiction that how can they be so ancient? And as I said, as you've seen before, metals and other materials that that are just not of this earth.
Futuristic technology from the distant past. Baffling combination.
From other worlds.
Can you make a sanity roll, please?
I said that.
It's a no for me.
Oh dear.
Oh, I'm unfazed. I've read enough.
You've read enough sci-fi to know that to
Yeah.
realise that it is actually real and it's not sci-fi at all. It's not fiction. Okay. Stanton, you lose a further 1 point of sanity, and same for you, Jacob. You're unnerved. These things.
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously the modern components that have just been manufactured aren't really unnerving. It's the ancient ones that.
These are clearly of immense value to Gavin. Security is extreme. Do we
Your
need to
best guess.
search?
Your best guess. Sorry, your best guess would be. It seems like, from what you've seen of the plans and also the actual. Now you're looking at the actual components. They look like some sort of advanced engine parts, maybe like an aeroplane, maybe, or something of that ilk.
They're not. Are they each one of them different? Are they? Is it like they're manufacturing multiple things of the same? I know that they've made
No.
copies, but these
No.
are they're all individual different parts.
They're all individual parts. There isn't one. It's a good spot. There are no duplicates. The only duplication is from the originals. There is one, but there is no more than one that have been created.
Right. So they are. It's almost as if they are building a new craft from copying an old craft.
Yeah. You get the impression they're building something rather than it being like replicating the same thing over and over again.
And they're probably building it in Australia, which is where they're shipping these things to, whatever it is they're doing.
And do they have some of the parts that are ancient and are building the missing parts afresh?
Well, that's a good question, because we would need to know, have they? Well,
we can study and we've got some more time. We can study the blueprints and try and match them up with the
you would.
parts.
Yeah, you think you've ascertained as much as you can from, like you said, from the time you've got now, but you'd have to study them in a lot more detail if you to try and understand.
Well, we need to take all of this, don't we?
We do. I think unless we need to search further, don't we need to load all this into the truck? And I think, loath to say it, but I think we also need to load the bodies into the truck and initially drive out into the countryside. We can't leave.
No, we can't. Well, I was going to suggest that we burn this place down.
Yes, place burns down and we leave the gates wide open. And we try to make it look like.
We don't care what we do. We don't make it look like anything. We just set fire to it.
Well, and leave the bodies here.
No, we'll take the bodies with us.
Shovels from the torch.
All right. Well, let's load up the truck and try and find some accelerants.
We haven't checked the other building yet, have we?
No.
So we need to do that first.
Well, to save time, should we do someone go and do that while the others start to?
I think it's we should all stay together.
Just a bit concerned that those gunshots are going to bring people upon us, but okay, we'll be quick.
Okay, the big shed, and
Oh.
you go into the big shed, which is just a huge open plan building housing materials and foundry processes for fabricating. There are 2 large industrial ovens, a furnace, various workbenches, stacks of coke, coal and wood, sawdust, piles of iron, steel and copper, crates, water trough, barrels of plaster, and all manner of tools.
Are there anything mid-construction?
No,
Right, so nothing
nothing's been left out in here. No.
nothing esoteric.
Mhm.
Okay, fine. In which case,
Tool shed.
Yeah.
See if there's anything unusual there.
There's nothing
then
unusual in the
takes-
tool shed, but apart from tools. But you did mention accelerants. There is some
Engine oil.
engine oil and petrol.
Right.
Well, we might need the drive along, but we don't want any oils.
well, we can spare some petrol, surely.
Yeah.
Enough to get this place going nicely.
Mm.
Right, we'll put anything that is of occult nature into the lorry. So is the lorry covered in the back? Is it?
It's a proper, it's a proper
It's a
solid like box,
yeah, okay.
box lorry. Yeah.
Has
Okay.
it got anything in it?
You're gonna go and have a look at it, are you?
Yeah.
No, apart from tarpaulins, and crates and things that the packing materials, basically. Nothing. It's been emptied.
Let's wrap the bodies in tarpaulin.
But are they coming with us, or are they staying in the fire? And what about Lex?
We're taking Lex with us. We should probably bury those bodies somewhere rather than let them burn here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll load them in. We'll wrap them in tarpaulins, load them into the truck.
Very respectfully and carefully move Lex's body.
Okay.
Should probably take 2 of us, maybe all 3.
All 3.
Right. So you're putting the 2 bodies in the back in the tarpaulin of the guards.
Yeah, and Lex would wrap him more carefully and put him in the back as well.
Take some shovels if there are any in the amongst the tools.
Just any tool that you can think of, pretty much. They have here. So yeah, there are shovels.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Crowbar.
Shoveling coal and stuff like that. Yeah, there are crowbars for crowbarring open crates.
Could have used some of those.
Right, and I'll take a crowbar. I'll keep one of those. Right, well, we will splash accelerant all over the place and drive.
Are you going to try and build? Are you going to try and burn down both buildings?
No, just this one.
Yeah.
Just the one that had the one that you went into at the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the workshop one with the offices and kitchen are those wooden buildings within a much larger brick building.
Yeah.
So I guess try to burn those first.
Yeah, there's a lot of wood. I mean, it's not going to be difficult to burn it because there's loads of flammable stuff inside there.
And then if the fire takes hold of them.
Well, I guess you're not going to stand around and watch it, are you?
No, we're just going to light the thing and just.
Should we get the truck out through the gate?
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, before we light it, what we do is we douse the place, put the get the truck outside, and then the last person out lights it, and then we drive off.
And locks. I think we should lock the gate as well because it will just delay any attempts to put the fire out and let it get hold a bit better.
Excellent idea. Yeah, we'll do that. And then, is there a map book in the lorry in the cab?
Yeah.
Excellent. We will use that to find somewhere for us to go, but we can discuss that as we drive.
So you're heading away from Derby?
Yes.
Are there any moors nearby?
Yeah. We're
there are
off to
loads
the
of
west.
moors. Yeah. You're going to head towards the moors, are you?
Yeah.
So your plan is to try and find somewhere that's quite desolate where you can bury the bodies. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive.
But I'll ride shotgun.
Okay.
Literally carrying a shotgun.
So we load everything in the truck.
You load everything in the truck. You pull the truck out. As you pull the truck out the front, you see the headlights of a car coming from Derby up the road.
Pull out and drive. Just drive. Oh, is this before we've lit anything?
Yeah, you haven't lit anything yet.
Okay, I'll just wait for them to pass.
Okay. They don't slow down, they just drive past.
Yeah, I'll make sure that we weren't seen by them so they aren't.
Yeah.
Okay. So the truck's now out on the road. You're going to who's going to go in and set fire to it?
I'll do it.
I'll keep the engine running.
And I'll lock the gate on the way out.
Can I get you to make a luck roll, please? Jacob?
No, I'm not feeling lucky tonight.
That's okay, it's not bad enough. Okay. Yeah, so you set fire to the building, which, well, you kind of pull the petrol around and then set fire to it. And I guess you're not going to stand around waiting to see what happens.
No, we're just heading off.
So,
Um,
okay, you quickly dash across the yard get into the truck and head off down the road. After
We
you say
need-
you're going to try and lock the gate as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get back to the hotel, don't we? Before the
Mm.
evening's out.
Okay.
And
Right, you're
we-
now
we-
heading along the Utoxeter Road towards Mikolova, trying to find some moorland.
Yes, the more
Yeah.
desolate, barren, uninhabited.
Is it about what 7, 8 o'clock now?
But so you left at, so it would have been took you about 45 minutes to get here. You're looking at pushing on towards 8 now. Actually, it's probably a little bit longer than that because you did quite a lot of searching as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're probably looking at about pushing on towards 9 o'clock now, I'd say.
But with driving in the dark, we don't really know where we're going to.
We've got a
No.
map.
You got a map.
Mm.
We could dump the bodies in a lake if we could find one.
Flooded quarry or
Well, you can see on the map that there's a little village called Hetherington, which isn't far to the southwest of where you currently are, and there seems to be quite a lot of meadowland and farmland, and not much in the way of built-up area there. There is
Find a-
also, yeah,
Is there woods? I think we'd bury them in the woods.
yeah, there are some woods on
Right.
Mickle Meadow. Yeah, so you're going to head there.
Yeah. What are we going to do about Lex? I'm loath to bury him with cultists, but I don't know what we can do.
I think if
We just have to do our best by him and bury him here.
yeah, I'm guessing. Well, obviously we haven't got the time, the ability at the moment. I was thinking cremation, scatter his ashes in the sea. Maybe that's what he would have wanted. Naval man.
Well, we don't know. So
Okay, you've driven through Hetherington Village and you've come out the other side now. On your in the kind of there's lots of meadowland and you can just turn off at any point. There's lots of farmland here as well. There are woods. It's quite a rural area, so you're just going to try and find a secluded spot where a wooded area. Is that what you said?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. You turn off the main road. You don't have to drive far. Up a few kind of lanes before you come to a kind of pull-in where there's a farm gate, and you can see atop a small rise. There's quite a large wooded area. It's just going to be a bit of a walk, maybe a 10-minute walk with the bodies to get there from the road.
we pull in where the won't be immediate.
I missed that. You put me. That's what you've done. You found like a reasonably. It's a secluded area.
Okay.
This probably is this lane is probably only to and from a farm that wouldn't be used very much.
Right. In which case, we'll take them. The only thing we can do for Lex now is to, given the state of his body, there's no way that we could give him a proper funeral. We couldn't take him to a funeral home or anything. There would always be questions to be asked, and you have to register the death.
I'm not a religious man myself. We've just got to do the best we can for him here.
And yeah, if we can ever return to once we've achieved our aims, then we can do right by him. But for now, unfortunately, his body becomes a risk for us. So
If we weren't so far north, suggest going to my home, burying him on the.
So you've pulled over in the lay-by and you just sat in the lorry now, just deciding what you're going to do. I guess.
yeah, we're just going to take all three. We don't have time to think. We're going to all
Yeah.
three bodies. We're going to have to dig. I won't say shallow graves, deep enough graves,
Yeah.
and put them all three in there. Need to take everything from Lex's body that could identify him.
Same with the two guards.
Yeah,
What did you do? Just out of interest, what did you do with the shotguns? Did you bring them with you?
I've got them. Yeah,
Yeah, we got
Okay. Okay, so you're going to get out of the lorry and carry the bodies. So you're going to have to probably go back and forward a couple of times if you've got
yeah.
legs. Okay.
Do we just get them all out of the truck to begin with? If someone comes, the last thing we want, a couple of bodies in the truck, even if it just means
The other side of the
moving
hedge,
them,
I think.
you know,
Yeah.
moving
Yeah,
them
part- yeah,
50
hide-
foot away.
Yeah, hide behind a hedge somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, you get them out of the truck, and then you carry them across the field one at a time to the wooded area that you'd spotted, and then you're going to bury them.
Yeah.
Spend a good. Well, it's going to take you a good probably couple of hours, really, isn't it? To dig a
Yeah,
decent.
I would have thought
grave.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So did you take your guns with you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not shotguns, though. No.
I've just got
No,
my
I
hand-
wouldn't have
my-
taken the shotgun. They'd probably leave those in the cab.
Okay. Yeah. So you dig, and you cut the two guards into their graves, and then obviously Lex is probably a little bit more of a give as much as you can. His body's in a bit of a bad way, but you do your best.
More of a solemn moment.
Exactly. Yeah. So you all stand their heads bowed after having lowered him into the ground. Yeah. Paying your last respects.
We don't even know if he had any family that we could have contacted. We go through all this and we don't. Well, I can't tell anyone.
No, he was a good friend though. Glad on you.
saved my life on more than one occasion.
One last nod. We need to go.
Goodbye, old
Yes.
friend.
Okay. You start wandering down the hill away from the wooded copse, the copse where you've buried Lex, back down towards the truck. Okay. As you're about 2/3 of the way back down the field towards the truck. It's obviously dark, as I mentioned earlier. There's hardly any light because it's a cloudy, overcast night, and I guess you'd have had to take a torch with you, so you would have been able, you wouldn't have been able to do digging. So you're all walking down with torches. You notice that the wind suddenly starts to get up. Initially, it's just a small breeze, but then it begins to become more disconcerting. You all kind of look at each other nervously, wondering whether it's just the events of the day that are making you feel this way. But the wind stirs a slow creeping breath that carries something unnatural with it. Suddenly you all hear a low resonance that thrums the air. Not quite a growl, not quite the wind, but something alive. The pressure begins to build. You feel prickles on the back of your neck. Then a shadow moves across the sky. It is vast. For the brief moments that you see it, a shape that should not be there, gliding impossibly fast. The sound rises above the whispering wind. A rush of wind howls through the darkness. Suddenly you see a monstrous shape diving towards you. Its vast leathery wings folding as it streaks downwards.
Stand your feet, Warren. You broke the seal, and I'm coming for you.
Well, there's a lot to unpack after that episode. An episode where we met a literal ghost, but it didn't make the top 3 of most shocking things to happen. We'll all mourn Lex War. We'll miss him. But hopefully you won't miss hanging out with us too much whilst we take a quick break. We'll be back on the 10th of April for more perilous adventures to thwart the Dark God.